another gadget to play with. I got this on Amazon, around 20 euros delivered, and that's the one there. But why I got this one is because she has a 16.7 amps, so that's at around 200 watts. Yeah, I'm going to use it to connect to this lithium iron phosphate battery. It's around 100 watts, 14.4 volts up to be able to charge lithium iron phosphate battery. So I have another setup, but I just wanted to try this. It's not expensive. I added a few things to this now, just a small voltmeter, cheap one, not to 30 volts, and I put a blade fuse. The smallest I had was 2 amps, just in case there's any short circuit with it. So I've just fed that into one of the positive and negative 12 volt outlets, and on the other I came off to this SAE connector, and I did have this 12 volt socket SAE from another gadget I had for a few years, so I connected that on. I'll connect that up then to the SIG connector for the charger, and we'll see what happens. Now I've adjusted this voltage to 13.2 volts because the lithium iron phosphate batteries go up to 14.4, and the closer I am to that, the better. And I'll just see whether there's much of a voltage drop. Tidy little unit. There's been plenty of YouTube videos on these, you know, where you select 110 to 20 volt, and I'm on 220 volt. Now, just looking through the screen on this one and watching fellas repairing and stripping them down, I don't see any internal fuse on this one. So I've added a 3 amp fuse here to the AC coming in, and just a little clamp here I had just to hold everything, not to be anything pulling and dragging. So we'll see how it gets on. Okay, I'm connected up now, and she's holding the 13.2 volts, and the charger is on. And what is the Dali saying? Yeah, 6.8 amps. That's what I get out of this unit, 90 watts. Yeah, going into the battery. It's rated as 7 amps, but anytime I've used it, I get 6.8 amps. So, I'll leave it run for a while and see does everything get hot or not. What's going in? Yeah, 6.72 there on the positive. There's always a bit more on the negative for some reason. I can never understand that. 6.85, and the Dali is showing 6.8. So that all concurs. So far, looking good. And then when pressed, how this maintains the voltage, 13.2. Yeah, that's neat. I put a little bit of timber plywood on the bottom of it. There was a screw hole there at the back and on the front there somewhere. Yeah, and a bit of 3M tape, so there's an air gap there, but there is also an air gap there, so it should be fine. I added a bit of plywood so that I could get extended out, so I could get clamp the cables here, and also to fit this little voltmeter. I just did a quick check on the amps draw with the clip-on ammeter, and coming out of this power supply, she's drawing 8.67 amps, and into the battery we have 6.8 amps. So if I take the voltage of this unit at 13.2 by 8.67, I'm drawing about 115 watts. That's fine. It's rated for 200. And into the battery, of course, we've 13.4 volts at 6.7 amps is around 90 watts, which is given an efficiency of about 78%, which isn't bad. I can't check the AC watts input because I have no instrument for it. So that's good to know. Yeah, and this unit is rated for 16.7 amps. Yeah, I don't know what the rating of this is, but there's a sort of a smell of burning coming from it, so I'll have to get a better one. Just heating up this one. Now this was working fine when plugged into DC, so that's not the problem. I don't think this is rated for it. But this certainly works to charge. Yeah. Reliability, how long would it last? Can't say, but it looks fairly clean inside. So that's my arrangement. As I say, I'll have to change this for something better. On board I have a heavy duty wire directly into the distribution panel, so that's fine. I might have to go and get another one of those that'll carry this load. Other than that, it's not taken away from the operation of this unit and the charger. Now, what am I at? This is 100 ampere hour to go on the boat. It's a sort of backup to the existing leisure batteries, mainly for when we're at anchor at moorings, to take over the duty of the fridge and heating and lighting. What I found for the last few seasons, half 5, 6 o'clock, I'd be woken up by the fridge cycling on and off, drawing down the lead acid down to I suppose 12 volt, stopping, and of course the chemistry then the lead acid comes back up again. The compressor of the fridge starts again and it goes on and off, so I eventually have to get up. It's too early in the morning to start the engine, so I usually switch off the fridge. So the discharge profile of these lithium ion is very good. It sort of has a near straight line until about 10% left in the battery. It operates around 13.2, 13 to 12.8 volts, so that's what that's about. It's a small operation. Hence why I'm just going for a small charger that can come off the 12 volt socket on the boat, that when we're underway can be charging the lithium ion, and I have a 50 watt solar panel as well. This is for those occasions where I'm tied up alongside and the shore power, and I can use this to with this charger to top up the batteries. Those who have bigger demands would probably go for the likes of a DC to DC charger, Vitron and Renogy and that, but my usage is small and only a sort of a leisure sail or a fortnight's cruise in the summer and a couple of weekends, so it doesn't justify me putting in a fixed installation. And I want to be able to take this off the vessel in the off season. I suppose 10-15 minutes I'd have all this gear up in the boot of the car. So it's all depending on people's requirements, usage. But if anyone is similar to me, small scale, well then I see nothing wrong with this arrangement. I do also have another AC to DC converter. That's 120 watt, but this seems to carry the load quite well. Pity about that now, but at least it's good to know now about that. I just had it thrown around the place, but it was off something that wouldn't have been drawing more than 3 amps. Yeah, so clearly it's not rated for it. So that's it. Shin. I think it'll work out once I get a new heavier duty one of them. Bye for now.